1113, Joe Delaney, South High School, physics teacher. I want to demonstrate this so my students can appreciate this and make their own video of the same proof. I want to show that vfinal squared equals vinitial squared plus 2AD. I want to use this graph of velocity versus time. I want to start off by shading in an area here between the 1 second and the 3 second mark. Okay? In that area, you look at the units, meters per second times seconds, the length times the width of any little square in there will be in meters. And to get the actual area of that figure, if I look at it, that's a trapezoid. The area of a trapezoid is the sum of the two bases, base 1 plus base 2, base 1 plus base 2, divided by 2 times the height. Now the height, it's a sideways trapezoid. The height of this thing is t. This base is v naught, this base is v final. So if I put them in this order for convenience, v final plus v initial all over 2 times the time, that'll give me the displacement delta x. I'm halfway there. I want to find an expression for this t that'll get me to where I'm going. Now if I look at this, the slope of this line here, I'm going to draw another dotted line over here. This segment here, this rise is v final, this total height, minus v initial, v naught, over here this is v naught, v final. If I take v final minus v initial, I get the rise. I want to divide it by the run. Well, the run for here is the time. So v final minus v initial over the time will give me the slope. The slope of velocity versus time is the change in velocity divided by the time. That's acceleration. So acceleration equals the rise divided by the run. I have a useful expression now. I can solve this for time. What is time? Time will be v final minus v initial over acceleration. I take this, plug it in for t back in here, I'm almost home. So I'm going to go to another screen here and put that information in, work that out, and I'm just about there. I have a little trouble clearing this screen. So, once again, the area of that trapezoid is the displacement, and we had a base plus the sum of the two bases, v final plus v initial, all over 2. Now we found an expression for the time when we looked at the slope of that graph. Very special condition. The acceleration is constant. So under this circumstance, the acceleration equals the slope. So I solved for time using that. I got v final minus v initial all over the acceleration. Now we're just about home. The top of this, v final plus v initial, you look at that polynomial there, plus, minus, similar terms. We recognize that as something very easy to multiply. The final squared minus v initial squared takes care of the top. Now I'm going to do a cross product. So that delta x over 1 times 2a, I have 2a delta x. I'm just about there. So I solve with v final squared all by itself. V final squared equals v initial squared plus 2a delta x. A lot of books have this as d, 2ad. So, QED, that's what I was trying to show. V final squared equals v initial squared plus 2ad. Thank you.